Hey everybody, it's Michael Griswold, and I wonder, have you ever noticed about when people talk about rules in a relationship? Maybe you've been with someone and they wanted to make some rules, or maybe you wanted to make some rules because you thought that might make you feel safer. Well, I'm going to suggest that you never have rules in your relationship, because rules, quite frankly, could end up being what sabotage your relationship. Here's what I mean. We, by nature, just don't like being told what to do. I mean, I know I don't, and you probably don't either. And whenever we have rules, there's just this subconscious, rebellion against that. For example, if I said to you right now, whatever you do, do not think, you are not allowed to think about being on a sunny beach with a cocktail in your hand and feeling the warmth of the sun, while you're getting a tan without a care in the world. You're not allowed to think about that. Well, of course, that's the first thing that you're going to do, because our minds are just reactive that way. And whenever we institute rules, it operates the same way. And then there's this added component, this added thing that makes it worse. And here it is. In addition to just wanting to rebel, in addition, we're not aware of it. And so this subtle resentment starts to creep up, but we don't know where it comes from. Because most people aren't aware of how much they detest being told what to do. So in this rule garden that we just made, we have this bed of this weeds of resentment growing up instead. So what do you do instead? How do you have a relationship without rules, but then, how do you keep it from being just wild and crazy? How do you have some sort of order or structure? Which is a great question. And the way that you do it is, instead of having rules, you have agreements. You see, agreements are things that make you feel powerful. One of the reasons that we don't like rules, one of the reasons that we rebel against the rules, is because it tells us that we can't do something. And it makes us feel very disempowered. And as a result, we don't like that domination, that feeling of powerlessness. So we want to rebel against it to feel powerful again, to give us a sense of personal power, which is a completely legitimate human desire. When we have an agreement, on the other hand, there's some power in that. I've given my consent, my continual consent, because I agree. Now you might say, well, what if you agree to the rules? But still, you're agreeing only with your lips, but your mind and your body does not agree. We, by nature, rebel against the rules. So it's very important to, instead of agreeing to the rules, have agreements. Agreements that you are good with and I'm good with. So agreements might be to treat each other with respect. Agreements may be to tell the truth. And it doesn't matter what the agreements are. There's no moral right or wrong. It's just, what can you guys agree to? And then what happens is, of course, you're going to break that agreement. And here's the beauty of it. In addition to giving you more power and the willingness to follow the agreement, I mean, just having the freedom to do something makes us want to do it more. In addition to that, we all are going to break our agreements, right? Because we're not perfect. When we do that, it gives us a platform to talk about it without making the other person defensive. So let me be very clear here. Here's what I mean. Let's say that you and I have an agreement that we're going to treat each other with respect. And then I act like a complete asshole to you. Well then, now, if we had rules, then I'm going to feel defensive because I broke the rules, and subconsciously I feel like I'm going to be scolded or in trouble. When we have an agreement, I feel powerful. I agreed to this. This is something that I want as a part of my life. And you then have a platform to come say, Michael, we agreed that we were going to treat each other with respect, didn't we? And I would say, yes. And then you say, it didn't really seem like you were doing that just now. And I would, of course, then have the privilege, have the power, have the freedom to say yes. When you feel like you're in trouble, you kind of want to do anything to get out of it. You want to deny it. You want to say that isn't true or make excuses. It's because we feel like we're being accused of something. Instead, if you have an agreement and you can approach it as something that is empowering, then instead of a conflict turning into a huge dilemma, it can turn into a real opportunity for intimacy. So do that. In your relationship, whether you have one now or whether you're looking forward to one, begin thinking, what kind of agreements do you want to have? And then think about using your relationships as sources of power so that the people that you're in relationship with feel powerful, and so do you. So many relationships are each one trying to gain the upper hand or have a fight for power. If you do that, then eventually you lose. So try this out instead. My name is Michael Griswold. Hope that helps. And if you have any great comments, put them below. If you have any bad comments, put them below. And if there's anybody that you think might benefit from this video, then let them know. And talk to you later.